Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Look at Absolver. Absolver is a game from Slow Clap, a new-ish development studio published by Devolver Digital that everyone's been talking about. Why has everybody been talking about it? Because it's a very unique take on a character action game. It is a predominantly hand-to-hand, almost god hand slash fighting game style of combat. I mean, I can just go into meditation here and show you some of the tricks that you can do right off the bat here. But this is, it's out next Tuesday, August 29th. It's $30, and it's certainly, I'm not ready to crown it, you know, Game of the Year potential, but I'll certainly say it's like capital A ambitious. One of the most interesting games of the year, and I'm still sort of trying to figure out how I feel about it overall, but it has a lot of really, really interesting ideas that I think at worst make it very intriguing and could actually lead to this being a very special game. So I'm just gonna, this is the practice mode where I'm basically gonna show you my combat. The thing you need to know is very simple here. Health bar is that yellow bar in the top left. I block with the left trigger. I suppose you can use keyboard, but I am using controller for this, as is kind of like the compromise for fighting games. It's either that or a fighting stick, I guess. We can dodge, or at least sidestep with the right stick. We can also duck and jump with the right stick. This gets, you know, over low kicks, under high swipes and stuff like that. And we can do a bigger dodge with B, which costs us stamina, which is that white bar there. Now, the bottom of the screen indicates what stance we're in right now. So by holding right trigger, I can alter stance. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know what the difference between the stances are, but what I do know is that essentially each one of these is its own moveset that we have programmed our own moves for here in the attack sequence. And I've got them linked up right now, so essentially we can perform an infinite combo. Starting from the top right, we do a two-hit combo, it puts us over there. We do a two-hit combo, puts us back there, etc., etc. So effectively, as long as my stamina lasts, I can pretty much just time attacks over and over and over, and it'll never stop. Otherwise, if we like got out of sync, we'd have to stop and maybe reset our combat stance or something. Another thing that's cool about Absolver, there's also like mix-up moves that I have on different stances here that I don't really have linked to anything. I just kind of use them when necessary, particularly this one, because a lot of AI does not block this overhead swipe, and it can be useful as a guard break. Another thing that's really cool about Absolver is that the way you learn moves to put in your attack sequences is by fighting enemies that have moves that you don't have. So as you can see, I got a lot of moves that are not unlocked, but they have a, like a bar on them, basically. We want to fill that bar up, and then we learn the move. And the way we learn the move is by fighting enemies who have it. And if we block it, and if we kill them, we learn it faster. So this move is currently not being used. But I still want to keep the infinite combo going here. So we want something that ends in the bottom right. So I can't use this one to end in the bottom right. And some moves can only fit in some slots, by the way, which is another reason why some of these moves are being used and others are not. Like, if we put a move here that doesn't finish bottom right, it would break our combo. But actually, now that I think about it, we do have that fast elbow. So we should be able to still continue our infinite combo here. By the way, the final thing I'm going to talk about before we get into this, well, I'm going to say two things. The first one is have mercy for the fact that I'm basically just going to be pressing X for every single bit of combat here and trying to dodge. That's because it's a pretty nuanced game. And our infinite combo is still working here. And it's kind of hard to talk about it and play it simultaneously. But the other thing is that on the bar there, you might have seen like a Gears of War style active time reload. The closer you time your prompt or your button press and your combo to that button, the faster the attack comes out, and I believe the less stamina you use. There's also equipment, we'll talk about that later, and there's experience, which you use to actually level yourself up. I'm level 18 right now. I've played this for like 2.5 hours already, and I'm still trying to figure out what the heck's going on for the most part. So let's just start. Basically, this is the single-player campaign of the game, but it's not really single-player, because there are other people online in the same session. That's part of the thrill of the game, is that it's got this journey, sort of Dark Souls-ish inability to talk to anybody. So we can't really tell people what we want them to do unless we were to like join a Discord call. Instead, we meet them and we kind of judge based on whether or not they fight us, whether or not they're friendly. And then if they are friendly, we can request co-op, or we can, you know, declare a fight against them, etc., etc. Hey, DJ Nelson's here. I was playing with him earlier. So it's kind of like always online. You can play offline as well. And originally I was like, that's good, because I was tired of getting ganked online. However, you figure out, once you play... That was a sweet duck. Once you play single player for a while, you figure out there's a reason that they emphasize online, and the reason for that... Dude, this guy is very strong, by the way. He also just pulled out a freaking sword and then kicked me down a pit into another group of enemies. The Souls aspects, or like DNA in this game, runs deep, by the way. And I know that people, you always throw the baby out with the bathwater when you're dealing with crowds. People are like, oh, they compare every game to Dark Souls now. Yeah, sure, you know, blank, but plus Dark Souls has become like a video game journalism kind of joke. And for good reason. However, this is very Soulsy, right down to the fact that, you know, it recreates the experience from Dark Souls 1 of, like, I have no idea where to go. I've been given very limited guidance. This is like a lifesteal heal, by the way, which is why I popped that, ran away, and then immediately ran back in there. Because I think we should stand a reasonable chance to kill them. We just gotta start small. You also get a little HP back when you kill an enemy, so... It is sort of button mashy for me, but part of the reason for that, I'm assuming, is because I'm a novice. And another part of the reason for that is because I've already set up my combo in advance, so the best thing we can do... I wouldn't say the best thing we can do is button mash, but I would say that the best thing we can do is press X in good timing in order to chain together the moves that we've already kind of curated for ourselves. It's kind of unique in that fashion. So I'm going to go for the lifesteal heal again here. It's also kind of a slow game. Like, once you're in the combat... it is no longer slow. It's pretty fast-paced, and it's kind of like a super For Honor in the sense that it's rock paper scissors. Only it's rock paper scissors, dynamite, sniper rifle, rocket launcher, etc., etc. Let's see if we can be a little bit more nuanced here. Yeah, let's be more nuanced by getting kicked in the freaking head. Good idea. So again, it's kind of a weird game to critique / give your impressions on after 2 hours, because I basically effectively know nothing at this point. Oh god, I hate that move. Hey, nice duck though. I have no idea what the blue means, by the way. I assume that it means the AI is learning my moves, perhaps. They never blocked that one. Okay, so we got some loot out of that. But yeah, essentially I've basically learned the foundational systems. I know how to fight. I have some techniques. I've built a combo for myself. And is that all you need? Well, it's all you need to get started. We've been tasked, by the way, the story of the game is that we're a prospect. So we're part of like a religious or martial arts or combination religious and martial arts school. I'm at the... You get the idea. I'm at the dojo. I'm at the church. I'm at the combination dojo. Also, it's a church. Hold up. God. We got them, though. If we've only got 2 enemies, they're already done and dusted. I want to learn some of their skills, because... Especially that, like, low kick. If I could actually block it, we might stand a chance to learn it. And we've been basically given, kind of like... I mean, spoilers, but after you get the Lord Vessel in Dark Souls, they go, hey, you gotta go to, like, these 4 places, kill these dudes, and then you will have completed what you need to do to come back and talk to me. They give us a task like that. They're like, go do these 4 things. I've done one of them. I've killed, like, a mini-boss. And then once we complete killing, like, 6 of these champions that are around, 2 mini-bosses and, like, 2 regular, or 4 mini-bosses and 2 regular bosses, then we have to climb this tower, at which point I assume we face a more difficult enemy. And the game is over. I don't think it's really intended to be a long experience. There is like a 1v1, and supposedly a 3v3 mode is coming as well, but there is a 1v1, like PvP mode in the game. The thing is, I might get my butt kicked here. No! We've done it. We've done it. That was close, though. The thing is, though, this is for media only. Media and developers, really. So I queued for a little bit in that, but didn't manage to get anything to happen. So what I'm actually going to do, because I think that was basically, I designed that little section of video here to show off how you actually get into what is a relatively normal encounter in the game. I am going to do a very Dark Souls-y thing, and I am going to go rest at this pseudo-bonfire back here, which is right there. We'll wait for the enemies to de-instance so that we can Rest. Thank you. And then I'm going to run kind of back to the center of the map. And this is where it becomes a crapshoot, because my intention now is to kind of show off the online aspects of the game. And to be honest with you, there's no guarantee that these are actually going to work because they require other people to be around. I've had a pretty good track record of running into people so far in the game. I'm hoping that if we go back to kind of the earlier segment of the game or walk around a little bit, we might be able to find some of these people. But yeah, it's a unique blend of PvE and PvE, and what's also very interesting is that the PvE can turn into PvP at any given moment. Sometimes accidentally when your friend throws an errant fist and accidentally gets your aggro, but it's a really cool shifting allegiances sort of thing going on here. So Central Harbor is the first area that I went to in the game, but there's no necessary guarantee. Oh, there we go. Hideyoshi Kaze. Alright, Hideyoshi Kaze. I wish that I didn't get hurt there, so I will tell you what I will do. I will beat on this low-level minion to heal myself to maximum. Now, I do have to say, despite saying we're kind of past the basic encounter stage of this video, the number one thing that I've loved about Absolver so far is that the fighting system looks so cool. I can't say enough about the animation and especially the sense of satisfaction you get when you actually, like, dodge an enemy's attacks, especially if they throw, like, a hook at you and you duck under it. It actually feels like you're a boxer or something like that. It's a unique fighting system, and it really, really works. Even if the game ends up being a little bit less nuanced, and I'm not sure that it is, but even if it ends up being less a fighting game and more of like a 3D beat 'em up, Hideyoshi Kaze lost to a basic enemy. That's all right. We'll ally with him, because I really think that's kind of the thrill of the game. If we could figure out where this dude is and bring him over. By the way, I'm beating on these enemies. Don't get the idea that either the game is easy or I'm a genius from this, because I think I'm actually garbage at the game, but I'm level 18, and this is, I think, the first area you're supposed to encounter, basically. So let's go find Hideyoshi and see if he will join us, and if he won't join us, we'll kill him. My guess is that he is probably over here. So yeah, as much as the fighting system certainly makes the game... Oh, no. No Hideyoshi? As much as the fighting system makes the game unique, it's really this kind of like... It's like Dark Souls PvP, except you didn't know what the... Like, the phantoms are all blue. They could all turn on you, or they could all... oh, there he is. They could all turn on you, or they could all help you out. Alright, Hideyoshi, don't betray me, dude. Are you running? I came here to help you. You're gonna run away from me? I'm still not gonna kill him. I got my fill of ganks earlier tonight. So yeah, am I pressing the X button over and over? Guilty as charged, dude. At the same time, again, it's kind of that unique combat or combo creation system that's more unique. Hideyoshi, you gotta join me, dude. I'm gonna send him a request. No, not victory jump. So hone in on him, request co-op. Hideyoshi, accept my cooperate. Yes, let's go. Okay, so me and you were in cooperation. What are you? You became a skeleton? I'm assuming that's because you're in the pause menu. Lead the way, buddy. So I don't think that the world is particularly large. In the reviewing guide that we got, they basically said that the game is about 30 minutes with respect to its world map size. So if you wanted to run from one end to the other, it would take you 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes in length, but if you were literally just trying to see every environment, it would take you 30 minutes. Again, I've played for 3 hours so far, and I've only beaten maybe an eighth of the enemies that I'm supposed to beat, yet at the same time, I also have no idea where I'm going. And I'm kind of, you know, I get it. It's minimalistic game design. There's no map. It's very Soulsy again in that sense. So I find myself trying to learn the map kind of organically, and it has its pluses and minuses. The plus is that it's very elegant. The minus is that I find myself going in the same direction a lot. Hey, buddy. First off, I gotta be honest with you. That's a, like, freaking sick mask. You're crushing it in the mask department. What do you want to do here, buddy? I actually think that this guy might be more level than me based on his loot. So I don't... You kind of have to make your own fun when you're doing this because you're not talking to one another. Like, I could let him lead. I could be more passive. I could turn on him and punch him in the back of the spine. And then you don't get to take his loot or anything like that after he dies, but... he would probably still be a little bit displeased, is my guess. Or I could just be in cooperation, venture on my own, and then if I get too far from him, we won't be in cooperation anymore. I have no idea how the instancing works, by the way. Like, if we played this game on launch day, are there going to be 10,000 people in this little area right here? I don't know. Or are we based on region or what? Dondi. Hideyoshi. We gotta kill Dondi, okay? Let's go... Because all of these people, this could be our big break on YouTube. You know? These are all media. And if we beat them up, it could be our name up in lights. Hideyoshi, come back here, dude. So Dondi's over here. So here's what we're going to do with... Oh my god, he does not need our help. He's crushing it. But let's get him into a false sense of security. Then me and Hideyoshi, we have some learned experience with one another. Hey, buddy. We cool? The thing is, let's co-op. Come on. You can refuse it, by the way. So now we got a full party. I don't know where Hideyoshi's going. He's probably over here somewhere. Oh, he's in here. Okay, so this is like a mini-boss that we can fight here. I don't know why he would just start to go in on them instead of waiting for his boys to crack open a cold one, but, you know, more power to you. The thing that makes it so that this co-op is... Oh, sorry. You is acting hostile. It's good, probably because I smacked him a couple of times. But, you know, with friendly fire on, it's kind of tough to avoid it sometimes. But maybe a better player than myself could make it happen. What makes this work is that nobody is equipped with, like, a dagger that if they stab you in the back will just kill you instantly. So even if, you know, you take someone by surprise by ganking them, it's not that you just gank them. It's really the sting of betrayal that hurts more because, I don't want to fight Dondi. Are you going at it? Are you guys going at it? So whenever this happens, you can, like, request stop fight. And then he will do that. And then we'll request co-op. Oh, God. I keep doing this by accident. Request co-op. Okay, me and Dondi are in cooperation. Would you like to kill Hideyoshi? I don't want to leave my boy behind here. We've been through thick and thin together, dude. Alright, Hideyoshi. I give you 10 seconds before I start beating tail. Alright, he's accepted. We're cool. Yeah, basically you can't just get... Let me put it this way. The incentive is not always to stab someone in the back because you'll always win. Really, if they get in like one combo on you, you're probably still going to have a relatively fair fight. And if they're better than you, you could probably still beat them up pretty good. Well, Dondi left. Is he trying to sneak away? So I think it works. It works better than you would expect. Your teammates are too far away. Press A to leave group. Well, this is coming back the way we came, so let's continue to explore some new areas. And Hideyoshi can choose to join us or not, depending on his desires. But, yeah, I will say that for better and for worse, this has been my experience in Absolver so far. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of just giving myself permission to not know what I'm doing, if that makes sense. I spend a lot of time wandering around aimlessly. Sometimes I wander into areas and the enemies are very tough, and they beat me to death multiple times, and then I go, well, that's probably not the right direction, and I go someplace else, and I discover a new area, perhaps. Like the Oration Quarter, where I'm gonna just continue to harass Hideyoshi and hope that he will join me. I will say that in this area, I have, like, the camera goes on the side, and I think it's kind of, like, artistic, yet at the same time, it's also kind of a little annoying. And I have seen enemies, in terms of, like, audio-visual bugs and stuff like that, I have seen enemies just sort of not exist, and then they spawn in, and they exist out of nowhere. I don't know where we're going, buddy. So, like, if you lead the way, that would be great. But, in spite of the fact that I find myself wandering aimlessly, I think that Absolver is a very... I hate you. Absolver is a very strong game on design alone. I think it works better this way than if it was just like... There he is. I think it works better this way than if it was just like, hey, you know, the Streets of Rage 3D or something like that. And the design does marry itself well with the nuance of the combat system as well. It's not just a one-trick pony. This is not like MGS VR missions or something like that, where it's like, hey, we got a cool concept, but it's not really a full-fledged, like, game, or at least work of art, let's say. This is definitely, like, a lot of attention and care was paid to the design of the game. Beyond just the basic mechanics. Dude, I think Hideyoshi can handle himself. I don't think I need to get in here. That being said, does it succeed fully? The honest answer to that question is that I just don't know. Like, I still have so much left to do, and so much to see, and that's not just meant to be a Smash Mouth reference. You can see as I block here, it is draining stam, but I am slowly learning this dude's moves as well. What's to stop you from sitting here and just, like, blocking his attacks forever to learn them? Probably nothing. In fact, that might even be, like, by design what you want to do. It's going to slow down your experience gain and thus your stat gain, but you will pick up some skills along the way. Nice, that was cool. Once you kill him, you get some more experience as well. We haven't quite gotten a level up yet, but when you level up, well, you know, we'll wait to talk about it until we get it, because it's probably going to be, like, you know, just a couple of minutes at worst. So yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to preface this video by saying that Absolver is very, very ambitious, and sometimes I think ambition is like a four-letter word in games criticism, because it implies that, oh god, just hit me with a strong hook over and over. It implies that that ambition was not really fulfilled, like they didn't, you know, meet the, like, I'm not going to pick on any games in particular, but I think you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of examples of ambitious games failing to deliver what they set out to do, is maybe the best way to describe that. Please don't knock me over the edge. I'm supposed to be the one knocking you over the edge. You can knock them to death with fall damage, by the way, but Hideyoshi, be careful. We're on a bridge here, dude. It's a little tight. I think that it does succeed. It has this really, really seemingly nuanced, like, fine control martial arts system, and it's a lot of fun and very satisfying to sort of slowly try to figure that out. Does the whole story mode sort of conceit work for the game? I have no idea yet. I'm still only, like, teasing the surface after 2 and now probably at this point approaching 3 hours in the game that, There's a lot for me left to learn. Consider this very much like a novice's Let's Look at here. I'm comparing this mostly to a game like For Honor. It's like if For Honor actually, like, cared about its campaign. I mean, For Honor has a campaign, and I've taken a little bit of heat, like I'm talking one chili pepper on a restaurant menu. I've taken a little heat over saying For Honor's campaign was kind of stinky. But I think it was, in my personal opinion. I thought it was kind of cheesy and the writing was bad, and mostly, you know, you got this cool 1v1 fighting mechanic, and what do you do with it? Well, mostly you just run into groups of enemies that die in, like, one hit and do a hard smack over and over, right? Now, you could make a similar criticism here that I'm just pressing the A button over and over. And you would have a point. Not the A button, sorry, the X button. Anyway, I leveled up, so let's go down to meditation here, and, I put most of my points in a dex because I'm in the quote-unquote dex school. The school basically means that my attacks scale with dex. So if I level dex, you can see my damage goes from 64.9 to 64.9. Now, why is that so small? Why is that such a small gain? I'm going to put it into endurance, actually, so we have more stamina. But the reason it's so small is because the game has a really unique balancing system, which basically means that the more armor you wear, the less damage you do, but the more protection you have. And I got some flack, again, for saying this on stream, but this is not how most games work, and I think this is a cool system. Usually, you get armor over the course of an RPG, especially, that if you didn't put it on, you're an idiot. You're just stupid. Like, you get plus 20 strength or plus 20 vitality for wearing something, and you're currently wearing something that gives you plus 11, right? You put it on. In this game, though, I think it kind of works more like real life, maybe? I'm not saying that to show off that I know nothing at all about martial arts, but rather just to say there's a trade-off. The more armored you are, obviously the more damage you can take, and especially from blunt objects and cutting objects. but the less damage you actually do. So if we just like unequipped everything here and went out in our underpants, well, actually in this case we're doing less damage, but I think that's because we don't have. There must be something that was giving us damage in there. Give me a second here. I'll try to figure it out. So right now we have like no protection, but we're also very fast, as you can see in our mobility there. There is kind of like a fat roll, mid-roll sort of situation going on, like in Dark Souls again. All right, so we're doing 67.1. Maybe we had a set bonus, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we had all the things of one set? I'm not sure. Anyway, the system is different, is what I'm trying to suggest. Yeah, let's switch our mask to the old one as well. So doing 67.4. Let's see if we can get a set. So we'll go like Tear Chief armbands. Desert Cotton Duster. We don't have Tear Chief there. Tear Gatherer. I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do is just outfit me in stuff that looks cool. Because that's how I play most games. And I think I'm putting on airs here. So let's make ourselves look like a sweet Spartan warrior. Oh, that's the ticket right there. And again, it will lower our damage. But at the same time, raise our protection. And I think there's a certain element of like intimidating the enemy by the way you look. Not in the actual game, of course, like in terms of the actual mechanics, but in terms of like my personal belief heading into battle, potion seller. Okay. So we're doing 65 damage now. Maybe it was just actually in the meditation screen where I see my damage. No, it was not. All right. So, we're going to play a little bit more of Absolver here, and the reason for that is because it's fun. Even though, again, I more or less have no idea whatsoever what I'm doing, and oftentimes end up backtracking the same areas over and over and over. It's extremely intriguing. I don't really know about the lasting of the appeal of the game yet. And I don't mean that as like a, I don't know about the lasting appeal. I mean, I literally have no idea, and I'm trying to emphasize that over and over. I essentially am flying completely blind. As I play this game, and actually in many ways, the more I play this game, the more I find myself, okay, you were not there a second ago, and that upsets me. The more I find myself confused, and I think that confusion is good. I think that indicates that it is a game that is designed not just like any other game on the market today, which is kind of cool. And I mean, there's a lot of creative games. I don't mean to throw, again, the whole genre, or rather the whole medium even away. But this is kind of singularly interesting. And that's worth something, I think. We also have other abilities, by the way. Like, for example, press right there, that it really increases my enemy's weight, which I think means that they pretty much have no mobility. So they're not going to be able to dodge much. They might be able to block still. You notice when we get, like, really fast attacks, that's when we're hitting the timing on this, like, stamina bar better. And we kind of smoked him there, actually. Tear Chief Armband. So we went down that way, and I think we found a dead end down there. This is another altar/bonfire, which may actually indicate progress, but I've already been here, so who knows. But yeah, I'm interested to see also if a community springs up around this. I really think that the story mode, you know, it is what it is. Maybe it'll last 5 hours, maybe it'll last 100 hours, but once it's done, it's done. But the Enduring Legacy could be the 1v1 fighting mode. It's a shame that right now there's not enough people in the game, that the queue, basically, that I entered when doing my due diligence just didn't pop. So, I'm interested to see how that'll work. There's also, and how the community will take to it, to be honest with you. There's also private lobbies. So if you don't want to risk getting ganked by jerks online all the time, you can, oh, this guy's good. This is an NPC, by the way, or AI, rather. Yeah, and if you ever see anyone wearing this, like, green, yellow, and red shirt, get ready for them to do some of these freaking Eddie Gordo moves that just annoy the Christ out of me. We're out of stam. That's a terrible revelation. Hit him with the jab. You almost got him. Just weigh him down. Oh. By the way, the way we get more fuel, basically, to do these attacks is by, attacking. As we attack, we get shards. The shards refill our, what I am effectively referring to as our key meter. Tear Chief Mask. Ooh. Masks are like the high-tier loot that you don't see that often. Well, this looks horrible. I love it. Gives us huge protection against cuts. It's like a Lego block morphed over our face. So yeah, I am apologetic, believe it or not. And I'm apologetic because I think that this video is not necessarily all that useful in determining whether or not you should buy Absolver. What it should be, I mean, hopefully A, entertaining, and B, I hope that you recognize that it's an interesting game. You should do more research on whether or not you should pick up Absolver. Oh, I accidentally almost emoted there. Because it's pretty much unlike anything else I've ever played. And that's like 80% positive. Hey, dude who joined the game, any chance you could come up here and help me fight these dudes? Because I'm out of my element right now. Oh, he interrupted my sweet kick. I will say, in terms of mechanical problems, or gripes rather, camera problems, occasionally. And, I mean, there's a learning curve to the controls. I don't take that as a negative necessarily. You know, lots of skills worth learning have a learning curve. And occasionally I get a little frustrated because I'd prefer to do like a 1v1 instead of a 3v1, but, you know, welcome to online video games. Not that this is I mean, this is an NPC. Anyway, when you respawn, you have no penalty, which again, no penalty to learning, probably a positive thing. But that's gonna do it for Let's Look at Absolver. My thoughts, mostly a big shrug, but I got 2 thumbs up, like, yeah. It seems good, but right now my predominant emotions are like amazement and confusion. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I'm having a fun time playing it, and perhaps the most glowing endorsement I can give it is that I can't wait to play more. I am eager to see how this game develops, how the community develops around the game, and really, like, what happens past this point. It's one of those games where I find myself being like, I want to master this. I probably never will, because I know myself. However, I'm trying to kick you over the edge, basically, because that's the easy way out. There's other abilities, like there's a shockwave you can have that shocks enemies, sends them back, and we might be able to... Oh, there we go. Good night, cruel world. We might be able to use that to knock them off the edge there. We could change our loadout at the altar, for example, but anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing more of this. I'm gonna figure out... I'm gonna crack this nut. But for now, I don't know. I think it's definitely good, possibly great, and I think that it's probably clear from this video, I have a lot to learn. We're gonna duck under one of these spinning back fists, and it's gonna be awesome. Every time. There we go, we're a god. By doing that, we almost learned it. Let's try this one more time. We were about to send off the video. We've learned it! Now, murder them, because I think we forget it if we die in this encounter. No, not... I'm telling you, people wearing this shirt have a 100% chance to steal your key. Good move, good move. I would like to use my healing ability, please. Now go off. Pop. Never stop popping. Oh! The swings! We're almost out of stam. But we fought our way back. Oh! We did not fight our way back. That's the move! They never go for that move. That flying elbow move is like what the bad guys do in Marvel movies. I'm onto you, buddy. And by onto you, I mean you're almost certainly gonna murder me here. Oh, the elbow to the gut. Anyway, I'll keep playing Absolver for 100 years if I don't turn the video off. Thanks for watching if you enjoyed it. Well, first, check out Absolver when it comes out on Steam. It's 30 bucks. Seems like an appropriate price point for a game of this magnitude and potentially, you know, future community as well, if it takes off. Not to mention the story mode, which I'm still figuring out. If you enjoyed the video specifically, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and expect to probably see more Absolver on the NLSS or otherwise. See ya!